Police running all in and out the building. What the hell is going on?
Hey, let me see if I can still do this. What's good? What's good? What's good? YouTube, what's good? Raider Nation. Yes, 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 and yes. I'm back. All right. I know it's been a while. I'm in a new, obviously, this don't look like the Ahern, but you know, I'm trying to make it do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you guys coming in, getting it in. Go ahead and say what's good. Congregation, man, I missed y'all so much. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad that I am back. I am back. I am back. I want to say publicly thank you for those that didn't know, those that stay in tune with your boy Raider Twuan. I thank you guys for, you know, keeping me in your prayers and in your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. But again, I say it, and I ain't got the brown crackers with me. There is no Raider Twuan without the congregation. And there's no congregation without the Raider Nation. So shout out to everybody. Hey, look, what we're going to do here is, first of all, I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you guys to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. Okay? We are still on the road to 500 subscribers by week 1. If you have not hit that subscribe button, it is completely free to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. And let me see, I might have someone to help me out with that. Yeah.
Fucking Stizan. Twuan, hey Twuan, hit that like button. Why? Because I like you.
That's right. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and double tap. You know what I'm saying? Get that like button going. All right. Make sure you hit the like button. Deacons. I'm glad that you guys are here. Those that are deacons, thank you. I need for you guys to do me a favor. Go and share this out to the group chats so that they know what's going on and what's cooking. Okay? What is cooking today? So thank you guys. Hey, look, I'm here so I won't get fined, but I'm also here to get to know what you guys feel about what's going on with the Raiders in regards to everything, right? I've been missing for about a good 2 months, so we can go all the way as back as free agency. We can go as far as back as whatever. This is definitely one of those lives, Ask Twuan, that you can ask your question. KoolKev, check your IG if you have that. Raphael's in the building. Good to see you. Hey, Captain Rafucho is in the building. Go ahead and check him out on YouTube. Get it popping. All right. So, free agency, we had some people, well, just roster wise, right? We had some people stay, we had some people go. I was kind of hurt with some of the guys that left. I really was hoping, my hope, and I know that you guys heard me talking about it, my hope was that we would get into a situation where we would have some continuity, right, on our defensive side. And I'm talking about, primarily Merrick and Spillane, and there's plenty of other guys that have left on that defensive side. They did bring some guys in like Chin. And my personal thought about it is, I think that, it has to be a situation where it's a wait and see. Is Chin going to be the guy for us? Is Chin going to be the Merrick, you know what I'm saying, where we say Merrick who? That's, specifically on the safety side, and just sticking right there. Do you guys, and let me know in the chat how you guys feel about it. Let me know how are you guys feeling about Isaiah Palomar being a solidified hang your hat on starter at safety. Because to be honest with you, I like Palomar. No, no discredit to him. No, none of that hatred towards him. I see that he has improved and he has gotten better. But I still am not comfortable with him being an everyday starter for us. So having him out there with Chin, and Chin might, he has his own resume. Yeah, he's played well, but is it really going to be is the defense going to look good, better now, or is it actually going to be worse this season? That's another question to ask ourselves, right? Linebacker wise, because I know some people were talking about linebackers, and I last year I was really on it because it was, God. I like Spillane. I really didn't care for Diablo at linebacker. But they brought some guys in. They brought in Landon from the Steelers. They also got Devin White. And personally, I think that is an upgrade. I think that's an upgrade for us. For sure. But you guys let me know down in the comment section, you guys, your thoughts. I know we got a few in here. Let me know your thoughts on the situation. How do you feel? How do you feel about the roster? Going into going into the draft, right? And we'll talk about, if you guys have questions on the draft, I'll definitely be talking about those too. As we go along. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, let me know how you guys feel. Let me know what you guys is thinking. And we'll get right into it. Shout out to everybody in the building. Captain Rafucho is in the building. KoolKev. See you, my guy. Milka Beezy, blessings to you. Alfredo, the boss with the sauce, is in the building. Hey, make sure you guys share this out. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button and subscribe. Okay? Subscribe. I need you guys to do everything that's free. Subscribe and hit that like button. All right. Let's see if we got any questions in here. Yeah. So who do you guys want? I'm gonna ask this question to y'all, and I want you guys to definitely get engaged with this. Who do you guys want in the first round? Or what do you want to do with the first round? Alfredo asked the same question. What do you think? Billy Davis is in the building. What's good? What's good? Hey, it's been a minute, but hey, I'm back. All right. Let everybody know that Raider Twuan is back. Okay. Back on his channel. Okay. Again, thank you, congregation, for pulling up today. Billy Davis is in the building. Now there's a couple of options that we can, okay. I see what Billy Davis is saying. I'll get to it. There's a few options there at 6, right? What I've been hearing is that, we don't necessarily have to get a quarterback because we have Geno Smith. And if there's a team that's desperate to get a quarterback and there's a quarterback on the board that they possibly may want, we can trade back. That might be the Saints. That might be people ain't talking about it. It could be the Cowboys. They need a quarterback too. Or if they want to jump up and get a running back that may be available there, that might be an option also. Or we can go with the quarterback, but the timeline is going to have to be solidified by the contract. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it was important to see what Geno Smith. Hey, cool. We got a quarterback. Let me say this on the record. We have a quarterback. And I'm not just saying someone that says they're a quarterback, but I'm talking about someone who actually is a quarterback. Okay. Probably hey, I'm just telling you, this is probably the best quarterback since Derek Carr. Okay. So And I know some people don't like Derek Carr, but I say players' names around here. I don't hide away from calling out a player's name. You know what I'm saying, on this channel. So you'll be hearing a lot about other players. We're in a place, and when I'm looking at the roster, we're in a place where is how can I say it? We have needs, like we have things that we need, that we would like to take care of, but it's not necessarily like we got to, no matter what, get that because we're gonna be all the things that we have in question. There's people that are already in place, right? Quarterback, we got Geno Smith, so we're not desperate at quarterback. Running back, okay, some people may feel differently, but they brought in Mostert because if it doesn't, at least we got a fallback plan, right? So we're not completely desperate there. Now, hey, I'm not saying that we can't get upgrades. You know what I'm saying? That's different from we're desperate. We ain't got that, right? Even at linebacker, if we got another linebacker, it's not like we really need to go get that linebacker right now. And I think that's the best thing for us to be. I know some people are talking about wide receiver, and we don't have a number one wide receiver in Jacoby Myers. And to be honest with you, I said it last year when we had Devontae Adams. Jacoby Myers is a lower scale number one, in my opinion. Not saying that I would want him to be our number one, but I think that there's a benefit when you actually have a number one wide receiver. But I'm kind of going to contradict myself, but we would like to have a number one wide receiver, but could we possibly roll with the wide receiver, number one wide receiver being Jacoby Myers, still having all the other options around him, the Tucker, the even in the tight end room, we still got some stuff there, right? So we're not desperate, but can we upgrade? Absolutely. I say this all the time. In order for us, the way that we'll be successful as a team is no matter who is the quarterback, we have to build. So, that can also mean, because we're not desperate, that can also mean we can be best player available, right? That's what we did last year in terms of getting Brock Bowers at number one. Billy Davis said, if Sanders is there at 6, go ahead and get him. Hey, I'm not mad at it. Those that have been with me for a while know that I like Shador at quarterback. It just kind of makes it a little difficult. Because it really is is indicative of what Geno Smith does, right? If Geno Smith has a great, season, they'll be looking to extend him, right? it's not a situation where, oh yeah, this guy, we already know he's going to be gone in 1 year. And then Shador can come in for the next 4 years after that, because remember the first round, you can give that player that 5th-year option. So if we did get a quarterback in the first round, it would benefit us to put him on already commit to saying, hey, we're going to give him the 5th-year option so that we can have him under a rookie-ish contract. You know what I'm saying? At for 4 years. That he's our starter. A lot of the teams that have done well and balled out and in free agency and spent a lot of money, it was because their quarterback was cheap. That's why I always, those know me, put it in the chat. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Cheap labor. Okay. Oh man, I got a special guest in the building. He pulled up. I'm glad he did. Man, I'm so excited to have him. He's a guy that I haven't physically met before, but me and him been on panels way back in the day. And I got love for this brother, and I'm glad that he came to join me. Hey, he's not hot, but he's cool, Kev. What's good, Kev? How you doing, man?
What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm just so excited just to see you on panel, man.
I know.
It's been a while. I know you don't really like to get on, but I'm glad that you came through with this channel, man. Hey, we talking about what we want to do in the first round. I know you probably was listening. Let me know what you think, man. What you think? What's your Raider gospel?
So much choices, Twuan. It's like, we need so much help, all over the place. It's like, where do you start? We need help. I think the D line is probably the solid thing that we got, but we need help. Linebacker, we need secondary, still need line help, running backs. So it's like, where, I don't even know where to start. So it's like, who do you take?
Right?
Who do you go with first? It's like, it's just like, so, you don't know what direction this team is going to go in. You know how it is. So, I don't know. I would say I was thinking about Genty, but I don't know. I like Golden too, the receiver, but I'm not sure. But if they go line, offensive line, I won't be mad, or somebody in the secondary, I won't be mad. But I would say we need help basically on the defense. So probably defense.
So you say you want to go defense on that?
Probably for the best of the team. I don't know, unless they go best player available.
Yeah, and that's, and like I said earlier, I know you were listening to me, but it's when I look at this roster, do I completely like it? No, but it where is a position where you're like, if we don't get that in the draft, we're completely, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It seems like we got everything pretty much covered. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said, yes, we can upgrade. Yes, we can build. Yes, we can, stack behind to get some depth, because that was what we ran into last year. We got killed, on our D line. Pretty much the only starter that was on our D line was was Max Crosby and Adam Butler. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was a, second stringer depth guy, and we didn't have really too much behind that. So I feel like if they just said, hey, we're going to go best player available all the way through this draft, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Right. I can't. Yeah, because
I would not be mad at it.
right, you can't be, because you don't know what direction this team is going to go in, man. It's just everybody's brand new again. We back to the same. We're not sure of how the strategy is, how the draft board is, but I don't know, I'm hoping one of these teams above make a mistake and if you could get somebody.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Hey, shout out to Chad. Good to see you, man. Good to see you in the building. Everybody, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It's gonna happen. I can't wait to see who is the one that actually goes and does that stupid we're like, why did they draft that guy? You know what I'm saying? Why did they draft that guy so high? You know what I'm saying? I believe there's going to be at least one, if not two, before us that might do that.
Right. So somebody's going to reach, and we'll see how it goes. Somebody always,
And if a Travis Hunter falls into our lap, if a Mason Graham defensive tackle falls into our lap, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be mad at it,
right?
And some people are like, why would you go D tackle when you know that we have Adam Butler and Christian Wilkins? And like, nah, we need to build that thing out.
Yeah.
You notice what the champions did last year. What did they have? They had a monstrous D line.
Yeah, definitely.
That they had four guys rushing out there. They all came off the field, got some Gatorade, and a whole nother four came out there and was still eating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to have that type of building. But the way that the Eagles did that is they did go with the best players available. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I watch the draft, I'm not only just watching the Raiders, but I'm watching what these other teams are doing. And I was sitting back watching, like, dang, the Eagles, oh, they got Cooper DeJean. Oh, they got Jalen Carter. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got all these really talented guys. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's one of those things. It's like, you bring them in, and if he's good enough, if Mason Graham comes in here at training camp and starts killing it, I guarantee you Patrick Graham's going to find him a spot.
Definitely. I mean, the thing with the Eagles is they already stable in the front office. Every season we always got somebody new trying to draft who they want to draft, and it's like you got to deal with their side of things, and it's like, sometimes we don't agree with what their choices are. But I don't know, the Eagles always got stability in the front office, man. That's why they kind of know what they're doing when they get on the draft board on draft day.
And they, they're in a position where they can take risk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, like, how some of us, we were talking about the whole Jalen Carter, situation and how that panned out. And,
right.
It's tough because I would have loved to have Jalen Carter, but with all the, you know what I'm saying, with all the antics we had before that, it's kind of a I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
anybody but Tyree is better than anybody but Tyree at that point. Would have been good. We just picked the worst guy, we picked a project of all, the worst guy of all guys that we can come up with in the draft. And I don't see I didn't know who this guy was. And, I thought Cleve Farrell was bad, but this guy is bad. So.
Yeah, he's really going to, this is his year to really prove what he's going to end up being and how much he's going to be worth.
Right.
Because
when his fifth year comes up, I mean, you could lowball him as much as you can because he doesn't really have too much tape to go with to justify paying him all this money. So
Yeah. And it might be a situation where they say, hey, I know we drafted you high, but now we're valuing you as a debt piece.
right.
And because you're just a debt piece, this is how much you're worth.
Right. And somebody, somebody's going to pay him, as bad as he is, and with the way how the money is in his draft order, somebody's still going to give him close to $30 million.
And that might be the case. He might have to, try to see where he can get money somewhere else.
Right.
Kind of similar to, we always talked about Cleve Farrell, right? Cleve Farrell and Tyree kind of were in the same boat, right? They were two defensive ends that were drafted high. We didn't get what we expected out of them like that. But hey, Cleve Farrell's doing he's doing well with the other teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it's because go ahead, Kev.
Yeah. No, I said we had no business drafting these guys in the first place. I mean, we had no business drafting these guys, but I don't know, what these guys were thinking. It's just like, these people that's in charge, Gruden and these GMs and Taylor and these guys, is like, I don't know what their mindset is going into the draft. It's just like, and we pay for it as fans. We just pay for it, man. That's all I can say.
Alfredo said a project pick with injuries.
Yeah.
And that's and I'll say this too, Alfredo, is one of those that's what kind of has me worried about some of the guys coming out this year, right? You have Abdul Carter, who's supposed to be the number one, really the best player in the draft. He got a foot fracture. It doesn't need surgery, but it's still a foot fracture, right? That can get aggravated. That can get worse, right? Will Johnson had injuries, the cornerback. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be a high round pick guy.
Yeah, let me just jump in here. As long as we stay away from guys with any kind of lingering foot injuries, especially knees and ankles coming into the draft, just stay away, no matter how good he is, because you see what happens with Tyree. You don't know how, you don't know what kind of fractures they got, how bad it is. And then these guys can't play. You need them guys to come out of the gate as soon as the season starts, so.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think where we are as a team, I don't think we can afford to like we said with the Eagles, you know what I'm saying? They took a risk with Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't think we can do that right now. Now, if we 2 or 3 years after drafting and stacking the team, if there's that hot shot, you know what I'm saying? If there's that hot shot running back, but that hot shot running back got a little injury, we might take a shot at it.
Right. Do you want to pay?
It wouldn't hurt us because okay, we got him, but if he don't work out, we already got someone here that we know that can do the job.
Right. But do you want back all that money? But he better be worth it coming out of the gate.
Yeah.
This time around. So.
And I wasn't, I liked Tyree coming out, but I didn't like the fact that he was injured.
Yeah,
that was what I didn't like about,
Yeah, I know about him, and I think they just saw somebody that looks good on tape, and he doesn't look like what he's looked like on tape.
I mean, I to be honest with you, I don't even think it was much of the tape. I think it's just more of his physical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he he doesn't have like a move like Reggie White or like what's his name, John Randall. Remember them guys?
Yeah.
Moves. So he's not really beating anybody off the ball. No technique, I should say. That's the word I'm looking for. Technique. He doesn't. I don't know what they showed him in camp, or he didn't come in with no technique. So
Yeah. I was hoping that he would, because he was doing that past summit with Max Crosby. I'm looking at you guys in the chat. For some reason, my chat is rolling slow, so I'm seeing some of you guys late coming in. Hey, Gore, good to see you, man. Blessings to you on the day.
Salute.
SoCal Sal's in the building. Good to see you, man.
Sacktown. Salute.
Yeah, Sacktown. Yeah. Good to see you, man. Hey, look, let everybody know Raider Twuan is back, okay? Because I know I've been out for a good 2 months. So yeah, it is what it is. But
it's good to have you back on here, because this is April is like a bad month, man. I people is dropping like flies around here, man. So
yeah,
get back on here with Twuan. Since 21. When is the last time we've been joking around since 21. So
yeah, man, it's been that. Yeah, hey, time, man, it flies, man, for real. But yeah, Raider Ben,
salute.
I thought, Raider Ben is in the building. Good to see you, man. And he said, yeah. Raider Ben said never seen Kev on panel. Hey, yeah. Hey, I had to pull him out. You know what I'm saying? I had to beg and plead. I was like, please, Kev, I need you to come on, man.
Yeah, man. I you get reckless behind the keyboard. People come after you. You gotta come out, every so often.
Hey, Ben, if you got some time, man. Hey, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you wanna come in and talk, man. We just shooting the stuff,
John.
man. I've been, like I said, I've been out for 2 months, so anything that happened within the 2 months, we can talk about it.
I mean, signing Gino was good, man. I mean, it took forever, but I was like, man, that's a good deal. For what it is. I mean, the last 3-4 quarterbacks we had, you know how it goes. It's pretty much reach, desperate, however you want to call it. So
it is. I'm kind of glad. Like I said, this is the first time that I felt positive about a quarterback since Derek Carr.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like since Carr, and then every other quarterback that has come in, this is the only one that I've been like, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I put out a video when Jimmy G came to the team, and you guys can watch that and see what I said about the deep ball matters and how all that played out, and actually how it really played out on the field. And then, there was people that were believing that Gardner Minshew was going to be the guy. And, it just, I don't have that feeling in regards to Geno. I really don't. Now, I'm not saying that Geno is the all-star, quarterback, what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's the next best, he's the best thing, next to Patrick Mahomes, but he will have us
better shape than we'll be in better shape than we was the last X. So
exactly. We ain't got to worry about it. And that was the frustration, watching games like it as a Raider fan. It was like, dude, if we throw one interception, you know what I'm saying? Just if we throw one interception, with you might as well say the game is pretty much done. Exactly. And that's where, that's how it ended up turning out to be. Like, interception, okay, we trying to keep hope alive, but we never recover from that. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different group of Raiders. It's just like they just go down they just get depressed as soon as anything bad happens. There's no kind of resilience, no kind of resolve, or trying to fight back. So it's just these last few Raider teams are soft, I would say, because they don't really, a lot of people ain't built. They didn't build when times get tough to fight back. When something happens, it is what it is. All eyes, as always, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, man, that's the deacon, man. He is a value deacon over here at the Raider Twuan and the congregation. And of course, man, hey, look, everybody that's coming in, they're like, what? You got Kev on? Hey, look, hey, Kev is a extra special guest. You know what I'm saying? When he comes on panel, because he doesn't do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Twuan,
glad.
you know how it is back in the day when we started doing this. How it is.
Yeah.
And how people treat you like a doormat in this place. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So, but it's it's good to have you on there. It's good. At least you have your own channel. I mean, how you go on these channels and people, how it is. You know how it is. I don't. We ain't got to get into it. So.
we ain't even got to go into it, man.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Exactly. So.
Yeah, man.
We could come on here and chop it up and have fun, and don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, definitely. This is a place, or at least I try to make it a place where you can come in, talk your Raider gospel respectfully.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we can just talk it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to have. That's what, to be honest with you, that's what I eventually want it to grow to. I want to have nights where, I call it a congregation live, and everybody, you know what I'm saying, from all eyes pulls up for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Alfredo, you know what I'm saying, pulls up, has something to say. Everybody can come on panel and talk their stuff over here, because again, I try to create this as a safe space for those types of things. So yeah. What was the biggest, because Geno Smith was a trade in technicalities, but what was the biggest free agent or the free agency pick that you liked that we did?
I wouldn't say I was excited about picking up anybody. I was just happy that we just replaced the guys that left, like replaced Diablo and replaced Morag and these guys. I wouldn't say I was excited about picking up anybody. I mean, I like the guys that we picked up. I mean, I just want to see, how it plays out. Everything is just like a wait and watch and see, and Jeremy, what is it, Chen, and what's the other guy? We picked up. We got Holmes again, and I forgot the other guy that we picked up. But
and I like him. What's his name? Is it Johnson?
I forgot the other guy's name that we picked up.
He's like another
Johnson, the linebacker from Pittsburgh. Yeah, he's good. I would like to see how he plays. I mean, losing Spillane, I understand, but his age and the money, and that's a kind of a sticky situation. I don't miss losing Diablo and Morag, because when they were here, they didn't really live up to what they're supposed to, do. And, it's kind of like I want to see how, we need to upgrade. We need a secondary since Jack Jones is gone. So,
yeah,
we need secondary help. Losing Jack Jones is no big deal. I mean, he's what he is. I mean, but we need at least 2 or 3 more corners to go with this group.
Thank you, J Dog. Lonnie Johnson is
yeah.
I liked him. I like what I saw from him, because when they said they picked him up, as soon as and you guys, even though I wasn't live, I was where I was at doing my work. You know what I'm saying? I always am looking at highlights, looking at, who, we pick up. I started looking at some of the guys in the draft. There's a guy that I like in the draft that I think we can get in the later rounds that will actually help us more on the defensive line. But I'll break that down. Some other day. I ain't trying to shoot all my bullets.
Right.
Today. But yeah, get ready for that.
We need some O-line help for sure. We've been like 3 years in and still haven't really have anybody to lean on for offensive line outside of Colton Miller.
Yeah.
So everybody's pretty much, we still need O-line help. We can't go into this season without any type of protection for Geno.
And I want my hope for this season in regards to Geno. I want his legs to be an accessory, not a necessity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And let me break that down for those that didn't understand what I said. I know KoolKev was right with me on it. I need his legs to be just something extra. Not something, we need him to right. every snap run for his life.
Run for his life, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, when you watch, the top echelon quarterbacks, they're able to sit in the pocket, and they're just sitting in the pocket, and you're like, dude, why has nobody sacked him?
Right.
And then he finally finds somebody, and it's a completion down the field. You know what I'm saying? That's where we need to get to. I saw, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say it because it's one of our rivals, but there was a time, well not now because their O-line was bad the past couple of seasons, but there was one time when Patrick Mahomes was just sitting in the pocket,
right.
just because his line was holding up for him, and he was just looking. Okay, I know I'm supposed to get rid of it, but I can still sit here because the O-line's holding up.
Right.
We need our O-line to get there.
But if you look at him now, he's struggling because once Tyreek Hill left, that's when his best O-line was there. So now he's, he has all these, mid-grade, mid-level receivers, and the O-line is in shambles now. So it's just like, now he's running for his life, especially when he plays us.
And you can tell because, like, they snap the ball as a pass play. He's dropping back. And as soon as he gets into his last, you know what I'm saying, whether it's 5 or 7, you know what I'm saying, because, that's their, like, timing, okay, I do a 5 step back, or 5, 7 yard, or, sometimes it's a 3 in certain situations. He's automatically, the quarterback's automatically running for his life.
Right.
And that just shows you that the O-line is not where it needs to be, whether it's them personally as they're just not good, or their chemistry
right
is not there, because that could be the thing too. You can have an all-pro line, but they have never played with each other, you know what I'm saying, and
right.
they could look bad, you know what I'm saying, because they don't have they're based on their abilities, but that O-line has to connect, you know what I'm saying? And that's where you get a solid offensive line. So hopefully they bring in some more pieces to this O-line. I don't think we're that far away to having a I'm not saying the best offensive line, but a good enough offensive line where we ain't got to worry too much.
Yeah, any line about James is a blessing.
Thank you, Kev. Thank you for look. That's why I got you on here, man. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Andre -3000 is out of here.
Exactly.
Can we all clap it up for that? Can we put some thumbs up in the chat? Can we do something for getting rid of Andre James?
Thank goodness, Jesus.
Man. And there was people, and it's funny because there's people like, oh, Andre James ain't that bad. I'm like, dude, like, I don't care what these stats are saying. I'm watching the game.
And
I'm saying,
block your own man. If you need somebody to chip block for you every play, it's bad. It's just bad.
It's bad. Like, I'm like, I automatically see, like, and especially, and I hate it specifically when we played teams that were 3-4 systems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they have three down and then 4 linebackers, you know, 3, because we do a 4-3. That's what we run. But other teams, some teams run a 3-4, like perfect team, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay runs a 3-4. And because it's a 3-4, you have a defensive tackle / or nose tackle right in front of Andre James, or right in front of the center. So as soon as he snaps the ball,
right,
he's already getting blasted.
Yeah, because that guy alone, he's like 2 people in one. The guy for Tampa. So
but it's not just Vita Vea, but anybody that was going against.
Andre is undersized and too small to play center. A lot of people don't look into that.
He would be a good long snapper.
You know, remember he
might want to change his career.
Remember he was a backup to Rodney Hudson. He's just a backup, so he's not a. They made him a starter, but I don't think he was built to be a long-term starter. You know, so he was beyond Rodney Hudson. So it's just like you know.
And that was actually his secondary position, because in college he actually played tackle.
I think anywhere besides center, he probably might have been even a right guard or whatever they say. He probably would have been better. Well, who knows?
Yeah, Andre -3000 is out of here. Hey, I don't know if I'm more happy. And I'm gonna say this name, and you'll probably remember it, Kev. I don't know if I'm more happy about Andre James leaving over Dallin Levitt.
Dallin Levitt.
You remember Dallin Levitt? I used to always say, hey, he gotta go. He gotta go.
He's probably just as bad as Faison. I mean, I never seen a guy hung around like he had blackmail. He's like Deuce Gruden. You can't get rid of him.
Hey, who's Faison?
Exactly.
Hey, never seen him. Hey, let me know in the chat. Have y'all seen Faison? I haven't seen him. Like he's never. God, man, just some of the names we had. I'm like, dude. And these were some of the guys, like, when you talk about Faison, like, we held on to him.
Yeah. We just held on to guys, and these guys will be backups on other teams, and we hold on to these guys like they like the best thing since sliced bread. You know, I could understand not wanting to come to Vegas, but man, you know, some of these, I don't know why they you know, how did the front office, you know, pick these guys up, and you know, I don't know how they value guys that value the talent. You know, I don't know, man.
James was a better guard. Hey, he must be better at something else, because he got to be better at something else, because it wasn't center.
Right, exactly.
I hate
He
the
probably
bash
he
him
probably,
like
he
that.
probably would have got destroyed at right tackle too if he put him over there because he's not probably built for that position either.
Maybe, yeah. I think it was just the power. Because every time, like, I seen him lose, a rep,
Yeah.
it was because the guy was bull rushing him.
If you notice when he get up to the line when he was playing, whoever he would never like set up the line and make the calls at line. So I don't think he knew. I don't know what kind of usually when guys go up, you got a center, they go up there and they point out what's going on what in front of them and make the adjustments. So I don't think he was good at making adjustments.
I don't think so either. I think in regards to Alfredo, he says he loves JPJ. I like JPJ. Let me know, you guys. And while we're talking about JPJ, all I said, we need bullies at O line. JPJ is a good start. I agree with you. Now the question is, and I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat, Kev. The question is, do you want to keep? Because I've been hearing, again, I've been away for a while, so let me know if I'm right or wrong. I've been hearing that they might move him to guard. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have
So
any problem.
would you rather have him at center or actually going to guard?
I think he plays better at guard. He can do more damage playing guard because after the play he's still checking guys after the play is gone. So center is a little more responsibility. I mean, I like him at guard. I don't have a problem with that.
Hey, I think that was it. You know what I'm saying? As much as people want to discredit it, the facts are facts. Derek Carr was calling out a whole lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, pre-snap and all that stuff, where maybe, Andre James didn't have to do that, you know what I'm saying, for him. You know what I'm saying? Because that was one thing that Derek Carr was good at. He could read, you know what I'm saying, if the line held up, he could read what the defense was doing and try to make something out of it. So I think when Derek Carr left, it really exposed JPJ. You said you want him at guard,
I'll
Kev?
leave him there. I would leave him there.
Or you said no. It would be moving him to center, right? He's a center right now. Would you move him to guard or would you keep him at center?
I would put him to guard. I'll put him on guard.
And then what do you think we would do at center?
Who we got left? Meredith and who else is the other guy there?
Parham took some snaps.
Kappa is going to play?
Kappa's guard.
He's going to play guard.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have I don't want to be rotating centers. Well, you're probably gonna have to draft for somebody or find somebody off the street.
Okay. I somewhat agree with you, but I kind of disagree with you. And here's where I go with it, Kev. I think he does play well at guard because he was a guard. He was playing guard for us before he, moved to center.
Right.
But I think it would be beneficial for us to keep him at center because he's young. And because he's young, it's best to not have him moving back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think if we kept him at center and said, hey, you're our guy at center, you're our main piece at center, then we can fill out everything else around it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got Kappa and Parham as our guards, that might be an option. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whoever they bring in, draft wise, guard wise, you know what I'm saying? That could be competition. But I think keeping JPJ at center, it just keeps stability for the offensive line. That's just how I see it. I know some I like that's why and that's good that some people believe that he should go be guard, but I feel like he should just stay at center.
Well, we'll see how it goes because he still got Glaze, Meredith, Kappa, who else, and then Colton coming back. So we'll see how they want to play it. You know, we still need guys to come in. We still not be. This is a time where we have to have more. You know, carry a lot of O-line coming in this season because, you know, between injuries, but you know how the season is, man. And these guys start breaking down.
And you're completely right with that, Kev. I think it's one of those things that we just need to every year needs to be getting an offensive lineman.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least one.
At least one. Every season.
At least one.
Draft one at least, yeah. Pick one. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you need not just starter, but you need to have some solid.
Yeah, need stability. Stability. Yep.
Depth. Yeah.
Depth. So, stability, depth, and everything is band-aids and drama. It's just like we need a right tackle for sure, and a stable guy at center. The guards we can work with that, work around that, but we definitely need some help. That will help the running game, and whoever this offensive line coach, I hope he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I all I said, he agrees with what I was saying about how rookies learn.
I don't have any problem with that. That's fine.
And I'm not, and again, it's not. I don't want you to feel like I'm getting on you, Kev. It's just I've seen this, and I think to be honest with you, I think that was the downfall of all of the guys that we talked about earlier. I think that was the downfall of Tyree, moving him from defensive tackle to defensive end. You know what I'm saying? Those are two different positions, and those are two different things, you know what I'm saying, that you have to worry about as a young player. We did the same thing with Cleveland Farrell. We had him on the outside, then we moved him on the inside, then we moved him back on the outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't help, you know what I'm saying, a young player that's trying to figure out the NFL game, because college, we say it all the time, and it has been said ad nauseum that college football is not the NFL. So when these college players come in, they're adjusting to what the NFL is. You know what I'm saying? So while this young player is trying to adjust to what the NFL is, it's best to just keep him in one lane instead of trying to move him in multiple lanes.
No more converted players. No more bringing in guys to convert. No more project guys. And these guys should never have been drafted as high as, Farrell and Tyree shouldn't be drafted this high to begin with. We had no business taking these guys, and it's just a combination of bad scouting and bad personnel decisions, and whoever is making those decisions, because that plays a part in it too. So hopefully these guys, getting Bowers is just like an early Christmas gift. He just fell right into your hands. So it's just,
Oh yeah.
But we need to draft better and get the best guy available, or hopefully somebody screws up between 1 and 5 and somebody falls in a hand.
Hey, trust me, one of them will.
Yeah.
At least one of them will. I look at. I'm looking at two teams right now that don't draft well.
Right.
that are up there. You know what I'm saying? The Cleveland Browns is one.
Yeah.
And the New York Giants is another. You know what I'm saying? I know the Patriots, they'll be a solid draft pick.
Yeah.
You know, right before us is Jacksonville. They're kind of,
they got new people in there, so
yeah.
You know,
we'll see about that, but
they got a quarterback already, so they just pretty got to figure out somewhere else where they want to go.
Yeah. Gord said draft Mimbu at 6. I think, you know, I have to be honest with you, Gord, I'm gonna do a little more homework on Mimbu. And see what he's talking about. I know that is a name that has been floated around a lot. And hey, you know, if that helps our situation and our cause, definitely that is it is all good with me.
Yeah, the draft is coming up a couple weeks.
What do you think about wide receiver, man?
Well, I like Golden. I like Matt Golden. I'm with the speed. There was another guy from Texas. What's the guy's name? Another guy from, I think he's from Texas or LSU. I can't remember his name. I mean, you know, I don't know, going first at wide receiver, going 6 with a wide receiver might be a little risky, being that we need other, you know, needs elsewhere. So, you know, I think you know, I want some speed. I want some taller receivers. I don't like, you know, outside of, you know, Myers is too. I mean, he's not big enough, but we need some tall guys to work the sidelines. You know, we need some guys that can, you know, could go over the middle. You know, some tall receivers we need.
Yeah.
You know, we need some speed. You know, I mean, Tucker is okay, but you know, once he gets bracketed, you know, or they you know, that's it. He's pretty much, they take him out of the play.
Yeah.
You know, once, you know, you could see once Adams left, you can see how things got tough. You know, how tough things got when, you know, being that, you know, I mean, we have Bowers, but still, we still need that one guy to you know, put the pressure on the defense.
Yeah, I think with our wide receivers in terms of the draft, there's a lot of wide receivers that you can get, and not even high in the draft. You can get them in the later rounds.
Yeah. Same thing with running backs, I think, too. Yeah.
And variety.
Yeah.
And variety too. You know, there's those speedy guys. There's guys that you know, that are what you call your big body wide receivers. You know, and we can stock up there too. You know, it's interesting, you know, and you said it earlier about the wait and see. That's kind of how I am with these guys, because we don't know completely. We're looking at the roster and we're like, okay, I think this is what we need. But, you know, we don't know what these, you know, we don't know what Spy Tech and team, I'll say Spy Tech and team, because it seems like everybody's involved. Spy Tech, Carroll, Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of people got, you know what I'm saying, got a little say on what's going on.
Right.
But I'm going to say Spy Tech and team, how they're going to go about, you know, about drafting.
Yeah.
I think drafting will be better because, again, you have people like Pete Carroll that knows what he, you know, knows the talent when he sees one. Spy Tech has been in rooms and been in places where he's seen talent and knows what to, you know, and we're seeing a little bit of it, you know what I'm saying? You know, with the guys that he brought in with free agency, you know, Pete Carroll said it. He's like, I love bringing in guys that have something to prove.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously you saw that with, you know what I'm saying, the free agents that we brought in. Devin White is a guy that has a polarizing name. He's still a decent linebacker, but he's not, the league is kind of feeling like, hey, he's not worth the big money anymore. You know what I'm saying? So he's coming in to ball out, you know what I'm saying, so that he can get a bigger contract, you know what I'm saying, before he retires. And, Jeremy Chin's a young guy, that has bounced around a few places, but, he still has something to prove, so it's interesting to see how the connections are in regards to the guys that they're bringing in.
Yeah, because these guys have something to play for. Usually the guys that we had before that, they were just there, and then they would be like, listen, we could always go somewhere else and get a bag. So they didn't care. So maybe these guys are coming in and have some kind of motive, some kind of incentive to play better or play the way that we want them to play. So that's, most guys come in here, they just get the money and they just take it easy. So.
Yeah, and that, we how many years have we had that, you know what I'm saying, spending big money on somebody, and it ain't like they got hurt. It's just they just suck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Corey Littleton, I always bring up that name because it's just like, dude, I was excited when we got him because I was like, dude, we about to and
but these guys benefited from playing with Aaron Donald. So these guys, when they had to go on their own now and prove themselves, now how they got exposed. So and it didn't help the cause that that Gruden overpaid these guys. That didn't help the cause either. And and we're still paying for some of these guys that he brought in here. So I look at this after like 4 years, they finally got rid of damn Diablo. And Gruden brought his ass in. He brought in who else? Moreg. Who else? And then now we got to deal with all McDaniel's leftovers.
Yeah.
And then Telesco's leftovers there. His leftovers is just as probably the worst set of leftovers since I don't know, man. I don't know about these guys, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's there. At least the Telesco guys are still young, and they still got a couple of more years to prove themselves.
Like you say all the time, Twuan, cheap labor. Can't beat cheap labor.
Cheap labor.
That's right.
Cheap labor, and it works. It really works. You know what I'm saying? That's when you can say, oh, I'm gonna go and spend a whole bunch of money on this one guy. You know what I'm saying? Because we got everybody else on cheap contracts. I think even with our cap, I think it's gonna the cap is gonna be like 10. You know what I'm saying? The cap is gonna be 10 million, going to the rookies.
Right.
All our rookies for this year. You know what I'm saying? So that look, cheap labor.
But they're doing a good job this time of managing the money. I mean, these guys that they picked up, man, they did good managing so far. I mean, they haven't really gone too crazy. I mean, overpaying for one guy, I guess. So
yeah,
with it so far.
I mean, and I'll ask you before I say it, how did you feel about the amount that Max Crosby got?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I think. That's a two-sided. I don't know, man. That's like a. I mean, his guarantee. Well, I should say it like this: his guaranteed money was probably dried up or was coming to an end. So it was a situation where you either pay for him now or give him double the money later on, or whatever it is he was asking for. So I'm assuming this is guaranteed money and you had to pay him. So
Yeah.
I mean, and then on the face and then on the side of it, you don't want him walking out the door. You
Right.
don't want that's going to look bad regardless. You gotta. This is the way you had to make a statement and sign this guy and get it over with, regardless if he needed to get paid right now or he could wait until the next off season to get his money. So
yeah, I think it was best for us to try to take care of it now.
yeah,
Especially the way the things, especially since the way that these contracts have been going up.
right.
It's like for an example, perfect example, Patrick Mahomes. When Patrick Mahomes signed his contract, everybody was like, oh my gosh, they spent hella money for Patrick Mahomes, right? Not just because of his talent, but when you look at where the cap has, the market has gone, that contract now looks good.
Yeah, I mean, he's just benefiting from all the restructuring. I mean, it's good for him. And once he restructures, his contract gets better. So it's just, he's just, I mean, he's in a good situation where, they're gonna, he's in a situation they're gonna cater to him, and it is what it is. Yeah.
Because I remember it was funny because I remember, and I don't even think I had a channel at that time. I might have had a channel at that time. No, I think I did. I think I was on early in my channel. I talked about Derek Carr's contract, and Derek Carr's contract in the beginning, it looked like it was a whole lot, but when the other quarterbacks were getting their money, it was stacking on top of Derek Carr. So then our contract looked better than theirs because we got him for like 30 or something, and everybody else is over there spending 40 and 45.
But he didn't play. He didn't play for his play didn't justify paying him anything past $35 million a season. I wasn't going to pay it. I mean, they between when Gruden left, between Gruden and McDaniels, he kind of like had a like his swag or whatever took a hit. So he's not a bad. I mean, I always joke around and make fun of him and bust his chops. He's not a bad guy. He's not a bad quarterback. He definitely in clutch situations. He won us some games in some clutch situations. You got to give him that. So, I mean, but he just I want to say yes, between the time between Gruden and going into McDaniels, between all that pressure and all that stuff, his play just went downhill, and it's just like you had to make a decision of, is he worth this kind of money? So it's just like, but now look at him now. He's in a situation now where he wants his money again, and his play is not. He's been hurt, and he's not.
Yeah.
And he's back in the situation. Now he's wanting more. I'm assuming his guaranteed money is done, and he wants some money. So. So.
Yeah, it is with him. He's they said that he might not even be ready to play this season, right. Unfortunately. So we'll see about that. I asked about the max contract because I had looked at his stats, and I noticed that half of the years that he's played 6 total years, and only half of that, which means 3, was when he actually had double digits sacks.
So Max, he has to, as good as he is, he still has to play with some kind of discipline, and he has to learn how to take plays off and know when to put the pressure on and play a little more disciplined, especially with this big bag coming up here. He has to be a little more strategic in how he plays, and 6 years already, and he has these knee injuries, and he's coming off an injury now, and he got this big bag coming off an injury. So
Yeah,
it's another test to see,
see how good
how,
that knee
how
is, right?
yes, how good the knee and the ankle is, or whatever is Achilles or whatever it is.
Yeah, and
So,
that's that's the concern.
yeah.
But am I mad that he got the money? No.
No.
I'm just like, okay, well, let's see.
Is it? Yeah. It's just the question. There's always going to be the question is paying him all that money. Is you're gonna never have a straight answer as far as paying him. Is this you got to pay him or he's gonna walk?
Yeah.
So no matter how you slice it, you got to bite the bullet somewhere. So it's just the one guy that we need to really outside of Max is Wilkins. He has to. He really needs to earn his money. Play his contract. They gave him a lot of money, so
yeah.
He only showed up. He only. He got hurt, so now he has to play. He owes basically a full season with Max, and see how this thing plays out.
And that's what I'm excited about because, Wilkins got hurt early in the season.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest with you, I think he could have came back, but because we were 4-13, it was no need for him to. You know what I'm saying? It really was. It's not worth the risk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To injure him again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And pretty much the season is a wash.
Right.
So I'm interested really to see, because the couple of games that he did play with Max, you could tell there was a difference on that line.
Yeah.
And our defense actually looked different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It played different. Our secondary looked better. You know what I'm saying? Because our you know what I'm saying, the front was helping the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always talk about the D line helps out the secondary. You know what I'm saying? It was working. But when people started getting injuries, Kuntz went down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All of that. That quarterback had a little more time in that pocket to throw the ball. So I'm really excited for
this. Yeah, because we have
that.
Matt Wilkins, Kuntz, Tyree, and somebody else to rotate. And if these guys can stay healthy, that's probably an extra 3 or 4 games that could keep us, that we can win.
Yeah. So right now, the way I see it is we have Kuntz, Adam Butler, Christian Wilkins, and Max Crosby, and then Tyree is, filling in where he fits in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it might change. I'll say this. It might change because, again, with Pete Carroll is competition. So what is it to say that Tyree gets his act right, and beats out Kuntz? That could be. I'm not saying that's a guarantee.
No.
I'm not saying I'm putting money down on it, but I'm just saying that if it's a competition,
yeah,
who knows,
man,
right?
That would be a miracle if he can be somewhat, he can turn this thing around and beat somebody off the ball. That would be a miracle.
Because also with that, Kev, we talk about how much we like Kuntz, but Kuntz came off an injury.
But Kuntz
we don't know what, you know what I'm saying, what we gonna get. That's why he's on a 1-year contract, because we don't know what he's he's bringing to the table. So
the Kuntz thing is, I was not. They said his market was $20 million, and I was, for a guy that did well, yes, but I like this deal. I mean, $12 million is probably the safest thing to go with and make him prove himself again, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I was not in favor of paying him any long-term 3-year deal just because of what he did, for a fraction of a season or whatever it was before he got hurt. But Coombs, in his defense, you don't have to worry about him. He was applying pressure, beating guys off the ball, and he has some technique to get to the quarterback and disrupt. He can disrupt. So, if Tyree can get some of that rub off on him or whatever, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. I'm with all of it. I'm optimistic about, everybody. Competition. That's what Pete Carroll talks about. Compete. So, hey, if you get beat out, you get beat out.
We have the draft. We still have the June cuts to assemble a roster. So.
And I'm excited about that too, Kev, because we got some money sitting.
Right.
What I'm saying? It's not like we spent all our money, that we had in the cap. There's still a whole lot of money that we need to actually by rule we need to spend.
Right.
So I think we will be really big time spenders in regards to the the post draft, free agency period. Because there's going to be some, trust me, there's going to be some guys, some names, and those names that we're going to, that are going to be out there that may get cut from teams. They're going to want some money too.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to the surprise cuts. I always look forward to that in the season. And who's going to be that surprise cut that you'd be like, man, I can't believe that he didn't even make it.
Are you talking about for our team or just?
Yes, for our team.
Okay.
That's I always look forward to that. I couldn't, that's just as good as the draft because you would never think that this guy the unknown is a good thing. So that's
and I think we can actually be more confident knowing that if we do cut somebody, it's because somebody already in a room has beat them out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, Pete Carroll doesn't play politics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He proves that. They talk about it in regards to the quarterback, how, they were spending all that money on Matt Flynn, but they had a 3rd round rookie that came in and won the job.
Right.
In Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? He don't play that. So if someone gets cut, then that means that they got beat out. It wasn't just, we got a whole lot of money on this guy. No, they just got beat out.
Yeah, Pete is gonna. Yeah, Pete is gonna run like a coach-player relationship as instead of how AP had a homeboy relationship with his players.
Yeah.
So, after a while, guys get comfortable and they just, But Pete is gonna. He's going to make you earn your roster spot, which is what we need. We need that, that hard edge, coach. So,
yeah. I'm excited, man. What? How can I phrase this question? How much involvement do you think that Pete Carroll's going to have in regards to our defense?
Let me see. Who is Pete. I think he's gonna. He has the control. He's gonna let Graham do it. I think he brought Graham back, so I'm assuming that he has trust in his coaches, and I think, I'm looking at it this way. He brought Patrick Graham back, so he's going to lean on him and let him do his job, and I think that's how I have to look at it this way. He's going to let Patrick Graham do his job. I don't know. He will tell him, whatever he's going to tell him. Obviously, he's going to be telling him something, but
yeah,
he's going to let him do his job. And the other last two coaches, you don't know how much meddling they did on both sides of the ball. So, Pete bringing back Patrick Graham, so they brought him back. So I'm assuming that they're going to let him do his job. And hopefully, my question is Graham going to take advantage of that opportunity and start, putting guys in the right situations? And that's a question you got to look at too. So,
yeah, I hope, I really do hope that's exactly what it is, because I think Patrick Graham has done well with our defense, whether he had everybody there or he was dealing with, the bottom of the barrel guys that we had because of injury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He even like last year, he made do with what we had. I really just hope that Pete Carroll just lets Patrick Graham handle it.
Right.
Like, hey, defense, you got it.
Yeah.
This is kind of what I would like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the goals that I would like our defense to have, but I'm gonna let you.
Yeah. Pete is gonna. The thing with Pete is, I think if he feels things is getting out of hand, I think he's gonna put his foot in there. He's not gonna be like how AP handled the Getchy situation, where he didn't make any adjustments at all. He just pretty much sat there and really didn't make any. I don't know how much power he had, but you can't just if you see something getting out of hand, you gotta start doing this stuff during the bye weeks or start making adjustments. And that's a big thing. I want to see people making adjustments, in-game adjustments, game time adjustments. We didn't do enough of that. So,
Yeah. So salute, Eric. Good to see you, man. Hey, we almost about to get up out of here. If you guys have any questions, please put them down in the comment section. If you guys want to ask me anything personal, you can also do that too. Because I know, like I said, I've been gone for about 2 months. But yeah. Kev, did you have anything you wanted to ask, or you got any?
No, I'm just waiting for the draft. I mean, you're gonna be. What are you gonna do for draft day? You gonna go live for draft, or are you gonna
know what? It depends on It really depends on the timing. I probably will try to link up with somebody, because I know a lot of us are going live. It might be like me, Loon, and somebody else, or we might link up like that.
Right.
But yeah, I will definitely be around.
You got to try and do it this time, because we got the 6th pick, so the excitement is gonna be there. So we don't have to wait till the 12th or 13th pick. We in the show this time. So, we actually in the show. So, I mean, it'll be nice if you go live, because at least, we can laugh and joke around and we can see and see how things play out between 1 and 6, 1 and 5 or whatever. So,
yeah. So, I'll possibly cook up something. Maybe that might be a congregation. You know what I'm saying? A congregation draft day. You know what I'm saying? Have you and a couple of other guys up here, and we can all just, chop it up.
You gotta do you gotta do a draft play-by-play, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Man, I'm trying to work back on this and get back in the flow of things. That's why I was like, let me just get live and talk to the folks and see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the time to start doing it now. It's coming up, and I'm excited, man. You just don't know, man. That's the crazy thing about it. You don't know how this is gonna play out. So,
and it's crazy because we're that high.
Yeah.
We're that high in the draft, and we still are like,
yeah. Exactly.
Don't know. And,
Exactly.
and it's part of like what we said earlier. It's like we don't know because we don't know what the other teams are really thinking or whatever. But it's also because we have a new, new group
Yeah.
in here that's
Yeah.
going to be getting the groceries. You know what I'm saying? We don't got Telesco. We ain't got, Ziegler. We ain't got, unfortunately, I wish we would have kept him, but I wish we don't got Champ Kelly.
What is so great about Ziegler? I mean, as far as Champ Kelly is a different topic.
Yeah.
He's been around, and I think he just got caught up in everybody's politics and didn't get a fair shot, to be honest. So,
And I think Ziegler wasn't that bad. It was just the fact that he was, packaged with McDaniels, and that's why he, I don't think he was that bad of a GM. I think he was more of a yes man to McDaniels, which wasn't a good thing.
No, it was a bad situation from jump. I didn't know how bad it was until it was bad. It is until fact.
Yeah. So, but the Champ Kelly, I really miss Champ Kelly, because Champ Kelly was actually one of the, he was one of the guys that was really a vital piece in getting some of the guys that we got in the back end of our, you know what I'm saying? He was more of the scout guy, bringing in guys, so, but, I hope he does best wherever he goes. But we got Spy Tech and Pete Carroll and Tom Brady, on the phone, and
you see how
Mark
it goes.
Davis letting them do what they do.
Yeah, see who can be who can negotiate and how they do it, how they draft. So,
and that might be the point too. All eyes, Champ Kelly probably was tired of getting passed on.
Yeah, he was there for a long time, and we didn't know what we had until it's gone. That's how it is.
I really thought my thought was that they were, when we moved to AP, I thought Champ Kelly was going to be our GM.
Yeah, I didn't. Whenever these what do you call it? Whenever these coaches got hired, you know how it goes. So, I mean, the fact that they just didn't give him a chance, or didn't give him the GM role before these coaches got in here, I don't know if it would affect, if they would have made him the GM. And I thought that he had they should have just made him the GM first and then let him pick the coach and do it that way, instead of bringing in, a guy with his own people, and and then you have another guy. You brought in a coach, and then you brought in a separate general manager, and you see how that played out. So,
yeah.
So,
yeah, I think
we tried every situation out. So this situation seems a little stable, and a little on the outside it looks stable. So, we gotta hope, watch and see. That's all I can say.
Watch, and we need to put that on the shirt, Kev.
Yep.
Watch and see.
Yep.
Wait, watch and see.
Yeah.
Because that's where we're at, especially because we don't know.
Yeah.
It would be lovely to know, if we were like another team, and the GM's been there for a while. It's like, oh, we know the GM's gonna get, what I'm saying, we know the GM's gonna do this, we know the GM's gonna, who fits what the GM likes already, you know what I'm saying? Right. And we're slowly getting to know that,
right,
as time goes along. But I think, honestly, man, he said McKenzie's now at Tennessee.
Yeah, McKenzie. Yeah, I forgot McKenzie was with the Dolphins. and then all I said he went to Tennessee. So yeah, I think they showed. I didn't know I didn't know Reggie was still active in the front office. So he's still out there.
Most of the time when they are like that, is they might lose a job, but they're still their name still kind of floats around. Like, hey, I'm still available. I'm still around. I'm still available until they find something else. So that might have been it. They might have been like, okay, Reggie, let's talk, and they got him. So, hey, congrats to Reggie. I don't
Reggie's
have
still
nothing
around. I
against
thought he
Reggie.
retired, but hey, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if his twin brother is in the stands sleeping during the combine again. Hey, did you see that?
No, I didn't see it. I gotta say, I didn't watch it. No.
So the year that Reggie McKenzie was the GM, his twin brother is Ronald Curry. Not Ronald Curry, Ronald McKenzie.
Okay.
He's he was on the Raiders staff as like a scout.
Okay.
Or I forgot what his official title was, but he was under Reggie. So when he was at the combine, Ronald was in the stands, and they panned the camera over, and it looked like he was asleep.
Damn.
And people were saying that it was Reggie McKenzie, but it wasn't Reggie. It was actually his twin brother.
Damn.
Yeah, but that was funny.
Yeah, only the Raiders. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Because at the combine, they do the running, and then they'll shoot. Oh, there goes Bill Belichick and his staff. There goes so and so and their staff. Oh, they got the number one pick. Whatever, right? So I guess they went to the Raiders, and they went not to Reggie, but they went to his twin brother, and he was over there knocked out. He wasn't even in the suite. He was in like the regular seats.
Yeah. I see. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That was funny. But hey, man, thank you, Kev.
Yeah.
Man, thank you so much.
I'm glad that we were able to do it quicker than expected. I didn't know you was coming on tonight, but that's good. I happened to be worked out, so.
Yeah, I was telling you about the schedule, and then I was like, well, I'm going live right now, so let me shoot it to you, and if you can make it, cool. Yeah. If you can't, all good. But
yeah, it's all good. It worked out, so that's good, man. Good to see you. I know you're going to be on here, so don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself over this Raider stuff. You're going to be Raiders till the end, so don't worry about it. You get on here. Don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, good times as always.
Is there anything is there anything you want to say to the congregation and the Raider Nation?
Hey, man, let's get ready for the draft and have fun, man, and see how it plays out. That's all I gotta say. We all sit down here, we go and enjoy it for what it is, and that's it, man. It's not too much, You just Raiders, being a Raiders fan ain't easy, man.
Hey, it sure is
not.
It's
gotta be built for it, man.
It sure is not. Hey, you guys know I gotta pay some last bills. Here at Raider Twuan, we are advocates for being an organ donor. If you're interested in being an organ donor, it's always in the link of the bottom in the description. Everything that you need is down there. If you're interested, please consider yourself and think about being an organ donor. Again, at Raider Twuan, subscribe, hit that like button. That's for YouTube. Twuan, TWUAN. That is my IG, but it is also my Twitter. So go ahead and join Twitter, Raider Twuan on Twitter. Yes, I talk about Raiders. I talk about anything, sports wise, of course, the teams that I like. I'm going to be talking trash about, some of these NBA games when they come up. So get ready, especially during the season, because I will, during games, I might actually do tweeting during the game. So I might tweet something in the middle of the game. So you do not want to miss that. That is at TwuanTwuan on Twitter. Again, I always say you are a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. And thank you, Kev.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's go.
Do it, man. Have fun.
Raiders.
We're gonna do it. All right, take it easy. Go Raiders.
What up, love?
Today is a day when our heroes of the past become our legends of the future. Time never really stops for the great ones. We wrap them in a cloak of immortality and remember what great people they were. We recognize you, Virginia Man, his sons Mike and Joey. They were a football family, so that John could pursue his dreams. To Raider Twuan and a tribute to Virginia Man and Al Davis, we declare that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madden family.
Hey, Raider Twuan here. You must watch one of my videos or lives. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and it's right there. Or if you want to watch one of my videos, watch it right there. And let's go, Raiders.